I'm Brett Behringer. I'm Chief Engineering Officer with Fybr. Technology being used in the environment of smart cities or in what they call the Internet of Things could be very challenging just because of the environment that you're in. Using technology in the real world is really the most challenging lab you could possibly get into. There's environmental issues, heat, cold, weather conditions, all kinds of different things you have to overcome to be able to activate technology in a city. What Fybr is a solutions provider. What we wanted to do was set ourselves up with a platform that could service anybody's needs, be it a private industry, be it a city, whatever that is. So we basically have a system that's built out from the data collection through the wireless connectivity all the way to the server, back to the user experience. And some of the sensors, the things that touch the world, we create, some of them we interface with. Some of the technology we built out was based around the challenges of cities. And the first deployment that we did was a product that is a parking sensor. So it basically sits in a parking spot and it detects whether a vehicle's there or not. And it sounds really simple on the surface, but it's actually a very challenging thing to do. And that unlocks a lot of different things that the city can do. They can do guidance to parking, they can do directed enforcement, they can do demand-based pricing, they can use it to even out traffic congestion in the city. And that was really kind of the first thing to kind of develop the product and the network that supported it. From there, we added other things that were interesting to customers. One came to us and said that they had issues with rivers and streams flooding and submerging bridges and causing injuries and even fatalities. So we put a radar system together, connected it with our Fybr link, which is our network card, and within 3 weeks we had a solution on the bridge giving them data. What makes Fybr unique is that we do a full end-to-end solution. So we will do the hardware, the sensors, basically the things that touch the world, all the way back to the things that touch the people and everything in between. We're not an integrator, we're not pushing this piece and saying you got to go find the other piece somewhere else. And what that does then is it creates an ecosystem of data, things that you can take in, things you can push out. Once the network is in place, supported by something like parking, the network is there and everything else that we do is supported and hangs on that same network. For example, in Washington, D.C., we went in and did a parking pilot for them. What they did is they brought in everybody they could think of that would possibly be able to do parking. At the end of that, we were the only ones that survived that test. And in fact, we ran the pilot for years beyond what it was even intended to do. Since we had everything in place, they had another idea of doing some route planning, if you will, for pedestrian and cyclist traffic that was based off of air quality. So we put sensors around the city in the Chinatown district that detected smog, smoke, pollen, all kinds of different things like that. And the first impression was that they would all read the same, because when you go to a city, they have an air quality sensor that says the city is this. Well, we were very surprised that from block to block and hour to hour, how different it was. And it was a real valid concept of giving people micro information on what the air quality is in their region where they are right now. We have to be able to do that rapidly and at low risk. So in order to do that, we created what we call the Fybr link, which is basically our network rolled into one device that's low cost, low power, something that has intelligence at the edge, so it can do all of your processing, it's secure, all that is wrapped into that one device. And now what happens is the back end and all the infrastructure of how you operate with that thing is seasoned, robust, ready to go, and all you have to do is that last 5% of whatever the sensor is or whatever the endpoint is. What that allowed us to do then is to be able to service anything that we would have never been able to conceive of. We're very proud that we were awarded the Innovation Award for the 2019 CES. Getting an award for it really does validate all the work that we've done. The future of IoT is really going to come with the flexibility and the ability to service the ever-changing needs of the IoT world. And the thought of shoving technology out there for the sake of technology really is not the way to do it. We want to use technology to service and provide solutions to people, and that's what the Fybr link unlocks.